What is going on, guys? DZ Fit Coach here, and today I'm bringing you something special. We're gonna go over exactly how to get shredded in 90 days and get your lean and peeled and diced to the socks for summer, okay? So, guys, a lot of people overcomplicate getting lean. Yes, it is a caloric deficit. Yes, you have to ingest less calories than you are burning, or you burn more calories than you ingest, right? So if you take out more than you take in, you're gonna lose weight, okay? So with this process, it's 3-step process, 3 important pillars, I should say. First is mindset. Second is habits and optimizing those habits. And third is nutrition and training. And you might think, why is nutrition and training third? Well, it all begins with mindset. If your mind is elsewhere, if you're acting like you're a fat fuck, which if you're watching this video, you're a fat fuck, okay? Stop trying to convince yourself that that's what you are forever, because you're not. You need to shift your mindset. You need to change your identity. You are already shredded. You are that guy, okay? So the first step for your mindset is shifting your mindset. You need to shift your identity. What does that mean? That means if I want to be a millionaire, every day I wake up, I am a millionaire. I have already made $1 million. There's $1 million in my bank account. And that's the same thing with shifting your identity with getting lean. So if you are able to wake up every day and say, I'm already shredded, I'm attracting that. The law of attraction is a real thing. Attract what you want. If you want to be peeled, change your identity. No plan B. Burn the boats. What does that mean? There's only plan A, okay? These motherfuckers coming up with a plan B, plan C, plan D, you've already failed. The only plan is to get shredded, to get peeled, okay? I'm getting into this because I'm on so much time. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm completely natural. I swear. But with this, you don't want to overthink, right? You want to continue on the route and the plan that you've established. You are getting lean. You are getting shredded. So change your identity and consider that there's no other option but to get shredded, okay? So you're gonna burn the boats. You're going to make sure that there is no leaving the island. You are here to stay. You are here to get shredded, okay? You're gonna win every single day, okay? I don't care if it's hard. You think when I wanted to do 3 hours of cardio, I was excited about it? I was pissed. I didn't want to do that shit, but I wanted to get leaner more than anything so that I could win. And what did I do? I won. I ended up winning because I saw the vision. It was clear. It had already happened. I just needed the time to pass for me to actually be in that moment. So when I say win each day, you wake up, you say, I won, I won, I won. I'm going to win this day every single day. You know why most men are not successful? Because they wake up and they choose to lower themselves down. They choose to operate at a lower frequency. Their energy isn't high. Let's get that fucking energy up, right? So get up, win each day, and do it fucking every single day, okay? No bullshit here. Like, come on, guys. If you're trying to get peeled, you have to have that mindset. Like, yes, it's going to be hard to do cardio. Yes, it's going to be hard to train 6 days a week, but the end product is worth it when you're on the beach and you're pulling every single fucking girl you see and you're getting compliments everywhere. People are saying you're jacked. You know, most guys get in the gym because they want to get compliments from girls. Well, I'll tell you what, you're not getting compliments from girls. You're going to get compliments from guys, dudes, everywhere. But it's what you do with that. It's what you do with that mindset shift, right? So what I'm trying to say is by winning every single day, you're also building discipline. And with that discipline, yes, there will be days where you're extremely motivated. You wake up, look in the mirror. What the fuck? I'm leaner than I was yesterday. That's motivation. But what happens when, your weight went up because you had a cheat meal? All of a sudden, your motivation goes down. Now that's where discipline kicks in. Discipline keeps you in the game, okay? So discipline is greater than motivation. Next is the final summary. Mind, actions, results. Change your mind, change your actions. That's how you get results. That's exactly how we lead into habits and how we're going to optimize our habits to get shredded in exactly 90 days or less. All right, fellas, the next step is habits. and optimizing your habits. Now that your mindset has shifted, your identity has shifted, it's time to optimize your mindset by optimizing those habits, right? So it's all one formula, right? It's not an overcomplicated thing. It takes about 23 to 24 days to build up a habit. So if your mindset is able to shift in that amount of time and your habits are able to shift, you've just created a lifestyle that's going to last far longer than the initial 90 days. Let's get into it. Morning routine, so important. That first hour of your day sets you up for the rest of the day. If you can win that first hour of every single day, you're going to win the whole day. Sleep is a non-negotiable, just like a calorie deficit, which we're going to get into in a second. If you're not getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night, you are missing out on gains. You are missing out on progress. You could say that's the same thing as gains. You are missing out on recovery. You're missing out on hormone production. You're basically tanking a lot of your hormones, right? So by making sleep a non-negotiable, you decide no matter what, let's say if you have to get up at 5 in the morning, you have to be asleep by 10, no matter what. Because you will get those 7 hours, you will get better results, and by getting better results, you're going to get in shape faster. Maybe this entire system of 90 days gets sped up because you're so on top of optimizing every single little habit, okay? So sleep 7 to 9 hours every night. Then you're gonna get a daily movement, also non-negotiable. You have to do steps and cardio. Some people don't add cardio on top of their steps. I'm not some people. I believe in both. If you're tracking your steps, you should also be doing a separate session unrelated to those steps of cardio. Think about it. If your walking pace is around 90 beats per minute, that's going to be nowhere near your cardio heart rate. So if you're doing cardio and your heart rate is 120, 130 beats per minute, you're going to burn a lot more calories and you're actually going to make yourself and your cardiovascular health a whole lot better. Steps are good, but they're not everything. You could aim for 10,000 steps and you could aim for about 30 minutes to 60 minutes to 90 minutes. That's the progressions of the cardio. I'm not saying every single week. I'm just saying if month 1 you're doing cardio for 30, and month 2 you're doing it for 60, and month 3 you're doing it for 90, you're gonna get fucking shredded, okay? Next is hydration. Hydration is extremely important on a cut. If you're drinking water, you're recovering better, you're staying hydrated, your joints are more lubricated, your muscles get better contractions. Other nutrients that you're intaking are moving and absorbing better in the body, and you're optimizing digestion. And you're optimizing every single other process in the body by staying hydrated. And as you get closer to the end of the cut, manipulating water is going to become extremely important. All right, let's move on. Tracking food, tracking macros, tracking portions, tracking steps. All these things are intertwined. By tracking all of it, you're optimizing all of your habits, right? Optimizing your whole day, okay? Next is consistency. Think about it as the snowball effect. You start with every day getting small wins. That builds up, that momentum builds up. Now you're building a big ass snowman, okay? So after you get that momentum going, all of a sudden after the first month, you realize, oh shit, I'm consistent. 2 months later, I'm consistent. 3 months later, it's a lifestyle, motherfucker. Okay, next is gonna be nutrition and training. So important, so please listen up. Calorie deficit is non-negotiable. That does not mean to cut your calories and do a chicken and egg whites diet. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. That doesn't mean I haven't done it. I have. Obviously, to learn and get to the place I'm at now, I had to try everything. Don't do a chicken and egg white diet unless you want to be deficient in every micronutrient, okay? and tank your hormones and lose muscle and not actually do a proper cut, then you can do it. All right. With the calorie deficit, you could still have high calories as long as your cardio output, your activity output is higher than those calories that you're taking in. So if you're doing 3,000 calories per day, then you should be burning more than 3,000 calories per day, right? And if you're killing it in the gym for 90 minutes straight and you're doing posing and you're doing cardio, then you will 100% burn more than 3,000 calories a day. With the diet, obviously you're going to do high protein. In the past, I did a case study on myself using BIA scales to track my body weight, my lean mass, and my body fat. And in my 9th year of training, I was able to put on 6 pounds of lean muscle tissue in 5.5 months while doing the most cardio I have ever done in my life, eating the most amount of protein I've ever eaten in my life, and doing the most amount of training I've ever done in my entire life with the least amount of rest days I've ever done in my entire life, right? So if someone went up to you and told you that, you'd be like, oh, you're doing everything wrong. Well, guess what? That's actually doing everything right. The muscle needs to be active. A body in motion stays in motion. The muscle will grow if you force it to adapt, okay? So with the high protein, I want you to go super high, 1.7 times to 2 times your body weight. My prep last year from end of July to November, I was eating about 400 grams of protein per day. Per day. Was there protein in my piss? 100%. I was pissing protein shakes. But at the end of the day, it yielded a ton of muscle in my 9th year of training, and I did it completely naturally, okay? So after that, you're going to do carb cycling, right? So carb cycling and low fats. What do I mean by carb cycling? I don't do the typical high day, low day, medium day, every single day it changes. It's completely phase-based. What that means is it's based on the phase that your training is in, the volume output, the activity output, the cardio output. It's all a phase, right? So I'm not just going to turn a carb cycling diet completely separate from your training routine. What if you're training balls to the wall? You are going to need a higher carb cycling. And what do I mean by that? A higher carbohydrate intake when you're carb cycling. So your carb cycling diet might look like 800 grams is a high carb day, 600 is a medium day, 400 grams is a low carb day, right? Versus if you're not training hard, it might be 100 grams is your high carb day, 50 grams is your low carb day, and then you have a 0 gram carb day as your no carb day, right? Then we're gonna go into training. You're gonna wanna train 6 times a week. Yes, it sounds like a lot, but you're doing higher volume, lower weight, okay? So a lot of people are gonna wanna correct me and jump back on me for that. However, by training 6 times a week, you're actually never letting the muscle go flat. It's staying full constantly. And that might sound almost like a bro term, but trust me, taking those rest days, your muscle is relaxing. Your muscle is being broken down and then healing. Yes, I get that. But we're not pushing weight as much in this phase. So we are able to increase the volume and focus more on pump. And that way the muscle never has a day to not be full and pumped. So I was training about 2 times a week for every single muscle group. And every 2 days I would train a muscle again, right? So sometimes certain muscle groups would get hit 3 times a week, right? And even for legs, I would make sure that my volume was high, but the weight was low enough that I was able to recover in 2 days. Even if I was a little bit sore, I would still train them. That way, I actually grew so much more than just pushing heavy ass weight every week and never doing deloads, okay? So you're also going to do cardio almost every single day, some weeks 7 days a week, some weeks 6 days a week. In terms of the cardio protocol, it's completely dependent on your level of activity, how much carbs you're taking in, how hard you're training, and all that stuff. If you want to get a little bit more in depth, you could contact me at the link below, and I'd be happy to help you out, okay? So You're also going to be focused on meal prep. I have this in red because these are one of the most important aspects of a successful cut. If you're not meal prepping, you're basically losing. And what do? We win. So meal prep, okay? You're gonna adjust weekly. What that means is if you're starting a cut, and let's say you eat twice a day, a lot of my clients eat twice a day, which to me as a bodybuilder is baffling. I have been eating minimum 5 times a day since the age of 14. By adjusting the diet weekly, you're able to continue that progression and see how you're building off certain carbs, certain foods, certain proteins, and that way you can adjust and make sure whatever you are intaking agrees with your body, okay? So next is tracking progress, right? So you're gonna track your weight, you're gonna track the photos, obviously, so you wanna see an amazing transformation photo at the end. A lot of people, when they don't take photos, they're like, oh, I think I looked like this. And then you look back on an older photo and you realize, wow, I just transformed and evolved my body. Like, you literally will look unrecognizable if you follow this plan to the T. So you're also gonna track your strength in the gym. When I said earlier to don't worry about how heavy you're going, that doesn't mean to not go heavy. Yes, I said, oh, well, we're not focused on going heavy, but don't twist it. It's relative to everyone. If I'm leg pressing 8 plates on each side and I want to do single leg work instead of doing 10 reps and building more systemic fatigue because I'm pushing harder and taxing my CNS, I might do 20 reps and just focus on a pump. That way my CNS isn't really fatigued, but I still got a good pump. Legs are a little bit tight the next day, but I can train them again in 2 days, right? So make sure you're tracking your strength. Make sure you're tracking photos, and make sure you're tracking your body weight so that way you could adjust the plan weekly as needed. Guys, this is just the baseline to getting shredded in 90 days. Summer is 54 days away, so you're already behind. Get your ass in the gym. Get your meals prepped. Train hard, work harder, and shift your identity. You are shredded. You are lean. You've already done it. You see the vision. It is clear as day, okay? So guys, if you want to know the why, when, how, the exact meals to track, the exact foods to eat, the macros, the cycling, all that stuff, check out the link below and I will be happy to help you guys achieve a transformation in 90 days or less. DZ Fit Coach out.